Hello friends, it's Tino here, and we are going to play some Final Fantasy II in my Let's Get Ready to Rumble voice. Let's see here. We had left off just finishing up with the gripping, climactic changes of Antlion. And so, there's a couple of quick things I want to mention before I really get cooking. When you first get Edward in your group, as you can see right now he's level 16. When you first get him in your group, he starts at level 5. There's something very crucial to notice about that, and the fact is that he is going to explode if you take him anywhere while he's level 5. You've got to level him up at least a little bit before you progress any further in the game. Otherwise, you are going to be in some trouble. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. I need a couple of tents. Actually, I think you can modify this number, yeah. I want 5 tents. Okay, I think I've got plenty of the other items. Let's see, 14 Cure 1s, got a bunch of lives, got plenty of heals, a bunch of Cure 2s. Yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, you want to level up Edward as much as possible. It's totally a matter of preference. I would say that the bare minimum is to give him about 5 more levels. Get him up to at least level 10. The problem with this, though, is that even him being at level 10 is still a little too low. So I shot for about 15. I prefer to get him to 16 just because then he's got over 200 life. He's still going to be pretty weak in general. And he also kind of sucks in combat. His attack usually puts some sort of a status effect, though. A lot of times he'll put an enemy to sleep or cause confuse or something like that. So he's kind of interesting. He's very quirky. He has a sing move that actually charms enemies, too. So this is Kaipo. I just stopped here to restock on goodies and stuff before I progressed further. Kaipo is reachable through these shallow areas to the west of Antlion. You can go back south to Kaipo from there. When you're leveling up Edward, I highly recommend that you sneak back in here, which is the end of the waterlogged passage, and there's a couple of good battles that will give you like 300 or more XP, and man, that is some serious leveling power. So while I'm running laps around Antlion here, I just want to mention also that it's, you know, you can farm on the world map, but I don't really recommend it because there's only a couple of encounters that will generate enough XP to make it worthwhile, unless you're very patient. And I'm a little impatient when it comes to farming for XP and stuff. So from Antlion, you go to the northeast here, cross the shallows, come down Meow, and here we are at the Antlion's Den. So right off the bat, you can see we've got a bunch of chests that we want to get. Okay, that one wasn't really worth it. This cave is not too long. But one of the things to note is that you don't actually have to trek your entire way back out. There's a neat little spell that Rydia has that's going to help a lot in that situation. It also helps to have Rydia up to a significantly high level because she's very, very important for the boss fight. The boss of this area is the Antlion, and he is essentially... Well, he's not immune to physical attacks, but if you hit him with physical attacks, he does an extremely powerful counterattack that does, you know, over 100 physical damage sometimes to whoever it hits. And that can be a bit of a problem, especially with Edward and Rydia tending to be on the lower levels. And that's why I say it's so crucial to have Edward at a significant level point. He's got to have a decent amount of XP, otherwise he's just gonna get lit up, and it's gonna be really frustrating for you. So take my word for it. Level up our friend Edward to at least 15 or so. And then this dungeon won't really be that difficult. This is going to be consistent through most of this game. If you get your characters a few levels up, the dungeon subsequently will be a little bit easier. And this game, towards the end, some of the dungeons seem like endurance tests. They seem like they're testing your stamina because they're very long, the random encounters happen very frequently, and you kind of have to be pretty patient. We will cross that bridge when we get to it. That's quite a ways off. That's like 20 hours or so more gameplay ahead of where we are right now. But we will get there, I promise. Okay, I've gotten all the chests up there. Let's come on down this way, get the remaining ones on this map. I don't actually... Oh, 10, just items. I don't actually remember if there's any significant equipment that you need to pick up in here. I don't actually think so. Especially because we're going to be coming up to... After you do the Antlion's nest, we're going to get another character, and then on the way to finishing the dungeon after that, we get another character. So we will eventually have a full party of 5 very soon. And the next town has a very powerful melee user, and you can actually buy pretty much all the equipment upgrades you need for him and Cecil and basically everybody in your party. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. We gotta focus on the Antlion's nest, or Antlion's den, or whatever it's called. Most of the encounters in here are not particularly difficult. Thankfully, the game knows that you don't have a character who can cast fire spells in here, so there are no fire-weak enemies, like the zombie characters. Man, those zombie enemies are such a pain in the ass if you don't have access to fire, because they take very, very little physical damage, and no other magic spells will do a significant amount. Actually, I should just be fighting these guys. I don't need to blow Ridge's MP on this crap. And actually, another benefit of having your characters at a high level is you can sort of pick and choose which encounters you want to actually fight out, which is very handy. A lot of times it'll significantly speed up your playthrough if you just essentially run away from all the battles in here. Like I said, none of them are particularly difficult, and not too many of them yield a lot of XP. There's a lot of imps in here, which is really annoying because they only give you like a tiny little smidgen of XP. These things, however, will give you decent XP. The Weeper. Some kind of like pseudo-Medusa. Eh! Haha! You are asleep now, Weeper. Cried yourself to sleep, you big baby. I cry myself to sleep all the time. Okay. Alrighty. Ooh. That's a pretty obvious secret passage. And we will get to that in a moment. Yes. Nothing like a new weapon for Edward. Yes. And if possible, in the next area, I want to sell as much of my equipment as I possibly can. I didn't really need to yet, because I've been doing a fairly significant amount of farming. And the farming will get you quite a nice little chunk of income. I think I actually wanted to go somewhere else first, but that's alright. Ah, it's a basilisk enemy. Perfect. Basilisks you really want to kill as quickly as possible, because they will petrify your whole party, and that is really frustrating. But I've got Edward charming the Weeper in the back, so she's essentially gonna help us win this fight. The turtle is a one-shot ice spell weakness type enemy. That's actually very consistent in this game. If you find the right weakness, assuming the enemy has it, you can exploit it very heavily, and it usually means it's a one-shot kill, which is just a treat. I love one-shots. Loved one-shots since the days of Halo. Okay, now if I remember correctly, this seems like a little dead end here, but I think there's something hidden. I can't be 100% though, but I think so. Stupid basilisk. I forgot what his weakness is. I thought it was ice, but that only did like 60 damage to him. But nobody likes Cecil's sword, so that's good with me. Okay. No? Ah! What a mook I am. Okay, I know that's the way I need to go. But I don't really want to go there yet, just yet. Ha! Specifically because there's many a chest I want to secure. GP, always a good thing to get. Oh, nothing over there. I definitely want to go back up into that little spot, because that takes me to the first area where there was an enclosed chest that I could not access. I'm actually very close to being at the Antlion already. It's really nice to still be at the first part of this game, because the dungeons are very short and easy and not too big of a deal. When I say I've been calling some dungeons short or longer or whatever, it's all relative. Super Nintendo doesn't necessarily have the most heinous of labyrinths. You know, it's not necessarily impossible to navigate all the different areas, and a lot of times you'll accidentally just go the right way, which is good and bad. It's good because... Oh yeah, I totally wanted to go here. Awesome. It's good because you can... Ether... Come on. Come on. Now I lost my track of thought. It's all good. Let me use up a tent. Oh my god. We need to sort these items. Sort, please. Thank you. Yeah, all my tents were like... I had 5 stacks of tents, and some were like 1 and 1 and 1. That's the silly thing about buying shit in this game. That's the silly thing about it. Oh, I remember what I trailed off on. What I was saying is that a lot of times you'll accidentally go the right way. That can be good, and it can be bad. It's good because, obviously, you'll progress through the dungeon faster. But it's definitely bad in a lot of cases because almost every dungeon has some kind of chest that you want to open. There's almost always something that's good somewhere in just about every dungeon. In the first dungeon, in the Hidden Mist, there's just a few items because it's only one screen. But in the second dungeon, the waterlogged passage, there's almost a full set of equipment for Cecil, and all kinds of yummy things that you could pick up. Ice rods in there, a couple of good things. Alright. Stupid imps. What are you guys doing here? Obviously we're just gonna smoke you. Smite the imp. Alright. I love Final Fantasy 2. I love the Final Fantasy music. It's so good. It's so memorable. I know one of their biggest composers is Nobuo Uematsu, I think is how his name is spelled. I can't actually tell you if I'm pronouncing it right because it's Japanese, and I have a stupid American mouth that doesn't speak other languages well. So he is one of the most brilliant composers, especially well known for his Final Fantasy VII music. Obviously, we're talking about Final Fantasy, so, but I'm pretty sure he was the big name on number 7, and has been subsequently on some other games too. Oh, nice! This is the room that has the Antlion in it, so we are extremely close to having this beat. Extremely close. And I actually have a couple of ethers, which is awesome. And boss time. Oh! Worry not. Antlion is tame. I will take the sand ruby. Hup! Antlion almost bit you. Let's go, Rydia. Boss time. So this whole fight, you want Cecil and Edward to parry. They basically will serve no purpose other than potentially soaking up damage. And you just want Rydia to use Chocobo over and over and over until he dies. Very straightforward fight. You really do not want your melee or physical attack users to attack. I almost did there, and that would have been bad. Because Antlion will counter and do quite a large chunk of damage. And that'll make you frowny, because your characters will die very quickly. Even Cecil, who essentially has the highest defense and armor of the entire party, he'll explode after only a few shots of that counter spell. So it is in your favor to parry, 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 and chocobo, chocobo, chocobo. Which is her only call spell at the moment. But it only costs 7 MP, and if you've got, you know, if you don't have to have been quite as diligent as I have in leveling up your characters, but... Oh, see? I absolutely smoked that fool. Oh my god, it was glorious. Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. And we found the Sand Ruby. And because I took my time and picked up... Oh, we should probably read about the story. What I was saying is because I took my time and picked up all the yummies, I can just warp my way back to the beginning. Let's go cure Rosa. Cecil's just like, oh, yeah, isn't that why we're here? Alright, so we want to use warp, and that'll warp us back here, and just continue to use warp. Takes you back again. And you're going to have to do it a couple of times, but it only costs 4 MP. And you won't have to do any fighting. It'll just take you right out of the dungeon, which is quite a treat. Quite a treat. This is going to play a kind of a significant role later in the game. It depends on what your playstyle is. Spoiler alert. Eventually I will have to fight a boss called Demon Wall, which, as we all know, is from many other Final Fantasies. I think almost everyone has a Demon Wall. But he is actually a quote-unquote optional boss in this game, if you use the warp spell correctly. That's much further down the line, but we'll probably get there sooner or later. So now we have the Sand Ruby, and we need to go cure Rosa, who's back in Capo, which makes me think of playing guitar chords very easily. Yeah, you get out of my way. Rosa. Use the Sand Ruby. Use the Sand Ruby over Rosa. I don't understand what that did and how that worked, but here we go. Oh, Cecil. Rosa. By the way, Rosa, who's Golbez? Oh, the king's not the same. Seems that he's nothing more than Golbez's puppet. Oh, the Crystal of Water. Yep, we stole that in the very beginning. Crystal of Fire is gone. The Crystal of Air is in Fabul, and the Earth is in Taroya. Oh no! The Crystal of Fire is already gone. Uh-oh. We must hurry to Fabul. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Actually, Rosa, it'd be okay if you bothered me, because you are smoking hot. One attractive 16-bit lady, let me tell you. I think this is a 16-bit game. Pretty sure. Later that night. What's happening? Oh, it's Edward. That's sissy. One of Edward's in-game commands is hide. That should pretty much tell you how useful Edward is. And he plays a liar. Come on. Come on, man. Oh, Anna. Oh, no! Evil hooded blue man. Oh, it's a water hag. This'll be easy. I think I just one-shot it. Edward. Anna? Oh god. Fight, Edward! These in-game conversations take so long. Of course I'm gonna fight Anna. Are you kidding me? No, I want to die. Believe in yourself. What great advice. And be strong! I do believe in myself. And I will be strong. Arrgh! As the water hag would say in defeat. 800 XP from one enemy. Man, love me a story encounter. No, Anna, don't leave. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I will, Anna. Great. I am so impatient, man. I'm skipping text left and right. But this game is really long, and I don't feel particularly obligated to tell all the text. You know what the story is. I'm giving you a synopsis. Actually, I'm sorry. I should totally be a little more patient in the text part. I will actively seek to allow my viewers to read the text from now on. I hope. I sure hope so. Otherwise I'm going to forget and feel like a chotch. So, we were back at Capo, and now it's time to move past the Antlion's Den, which is up to the northeast here, to the next area, which is Mount Hobbs. Hooray! And I think this is a good place to leave off with this segment of Final Fantasy II Fun. Let me make sure that's saved. Perfect! Alright. We got us another character. Rosa's in the party now. White Wizard goodness. She's going to be so helpful in the upcoming areas. And now that we're on Mount Hobbs, we're starting to make some progress in this storyline. So there will be some fun. There will be new magics. There will be a hilarious Asian character joining us, our party, shortly. And I'm looking forward to playing that with you, for you, by you, which made no sense. But thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next episode.